Hey friends, today I'm going to be showing you exactly how I made one of these clever wee journal pouch covers. I've been seeing other folks' versions of them everywhere and I really wanted to try and make my own, especially because I've been loving using this setup of multiple thin jotter style notebooks lately, and this just seemed like the perfect solution. By the way, if you're new here, my name's Nikki and I'm a lifelong creative gal, designer, maker and stationery shop owner. So if you're watching this video and you're enjoying it, or you're finding it useful, I would love if you could like and subscribe or leave me a comment. Any engagement really helps my videos and is much appreciated. So to make my pouch the right size, I started off with an A4 plus sized clear pouch. This is just a wee bit bigger than A4, so it gives you some extra space to accommodate the thickness of the books once it's folded in half. I actually found it pretty tricky to source all of the materials that I needed to make this, but I've got a solution for that which I promise I'm going to tell you about later in the video. Okay, so for folding the pouch in half, I made sure that the zip was at the top and that the zip head sat at the front when it was closed. Then I positioned my notebook in the middle of the pouch so that the spine lined up with the crease that I'd made in the pouch. And next I made 3 marks with a Sharpie, one at the top and the bottom of my book to mark where the elastic was going to go, and then one exactly in the centre. I had this single hole punch that I usually use for punching the tags for my cushion shop, but you could use anything small and sharp to make the holes. The good thing about this type of pouch is that the mesh that's inside the plastic gives it this extra little bit of strength and stops the holes from getting any bigger or the pouch tearing. Okay, so the elastic. For this size of pouch, I cut 3 pieces at 32 centimetres each. However, this can vary depending on how stretchy your elastic is, and if you're using my kit, then the current measurements are detailed in the listing. For the spine binding, I fed 2 pieces of elastic through the top and bottom holes and tied double knots on the inside. So I actually forgot to film this part because there was fire involved and that felt like I was kind of tempting fate, but I used a candle to seal the ends of the elastic to stop it from fraying. You need to be really careful when you're doing this as the coating can melt really quickly and the elastic doesn't smell great when you melt it. But another method that works really well is using a tiny bit of clear nail polish on the ends. This usually stops any loose threads appearing and it isn't as much of a fire hazard. When you're at this stage, your pouch is probably going to look quite puckered and crumpled, but don't be alarmed as this is all part of the process and it will get fixed in the next step. It's actually pretty important that it does pucker, to be honest, because this means that the elastic is taut and it's going to be holding your books in nice and securely. I used these A5 grid and dot grid books, which are from Midori. These are also in my shop, by the way, and I just slid them underneath the elastic to attach them. Already, you'll notice that the puckering is gone and it's starting to look way more solid. To finish off all the elasticing, I added the piece that keeps it all closed on the outside. So for this, I fed both ends through the one hole on the outside in the middle so that it forms a loop on the outside, then just completed it with a double knot on the inside. I added some extra stability with some thick card in both the front and back covers just to make sure that it holds its shape whenever I'm switching out the notebooks inside. I think mine is about 300 GSM, but corrugated cardboard from delivery boxes or grey board works just as well. As I was saying, I did find it really difficult pulling together all of the different bits that were needed for this project, so I decided to bundle together some wee kits for Nikki's supply store so it would be really easy for folks in my community who wanted to have a go at making this for themselves. I'll pop a link in the description. I might even be able to tag the product in this video, but that all depends on whether the Shopify gods are playing ball today. I had some pattern paper that I really wanted to use. This craft paper pad from Martina Calvi is new to me, so I was really excited to use this for the project as it's just so nice. After a few combos, I ended up going with these pattern papers which are made by my friend Rachel. She runs this very cute snail mail club, as I really liked how the colours looked through the transparent peach of the pouch. I went with Martina's papers for the inside cover, and at this point I was feeling so pleased with myself as it was looking really quite lovely. I've had a thing for stickers for as long as I can remember, so the next part was the most fun for me. I think my love for stickers is compounded by the fact that I have the stationery shop now, because I can pretty much help myself to as many as I want. This probably isn't a great business move, but there you go. The pudding one is by the lovely Elle who runs Shellflower, and I designed the rest, so I kind of feel like that makes it okay. I wanted to fill in some of the bigger gaps, so I used some of these retro roll stickers, which are also in the shop. Honestly, having all of this stuff to hand is absolutely lethal. I'll link everything in the description that I've used, including the stickers and the pouch DIY kits, in case you want to try one of these too. I actually resisted getting sticker tweezers for so long, as I always thought they were slightly unnecessary, but my goodness, was I wrong. It's actually so satisfying using them for tiny stickers, and it also helps keep them flat instead of wrinkling up the edges when you peel them up with your nails, or even trashing your nail polish on the off chance that you've got a nice manicure on the go. Okay, we are almost there. I chose 2 charms from my own collection which reflect my diverse range of interests, cats and biscuits, and clip them to the elastic closure. And I just got these incredibly cute mini pouch bag charms in, which are perfect for storing tiny trinkets and charms, like my 2 baby Sylvanian families, which fit perfectly in there. And because they're so functional and aesthetic, I added a clampy clip too. I love the pink, but we just got glittery ones in, and I'm very tempted to go and grab one of those as well. I've been using this wee passport-sized A6 notebook for daily brain dumps and to-do lists, and it fits really nicely inside the zip pocket at the front, which is honestly very satisfying. I love having a place to keep everything where I can find it when I need. I suppose the thing that I love so much about this pouch cover is that you can actually store so much inside of it, as well as protecting your notebooks and keeping everything together. If you were using this as your junk journal setup, this would work really well for storing ephemera and stickers and stuff, as well as your books. It is just really functional and I love it. I've been using this for a week now, and it even fits inside the fabric journaling pouches that we hand make for the shop. So this feels like secret extra storage inside, which makes me so happy. So yeah, if you want to try to make your own, I'll link the bundles and supplies in the description. I've made the kit super affordable as I'm such a fan of this method, and I'd love for as many folks to have access to this as possible, as I know that some of the supplies are hard to find locally. Let me try this for yourself, or if I've missed anything and you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll do my best to help. And if you did like this, be sure to subscribe for more videos like this, or hit like or hype. Engagement like this always helps my videos do well. Let me know in the comments if you're going to try this for yourself. Anywho, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.